How is your mental health? Billie Eilish, Kevin Love of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Imagine Dragons, Lil Nas X, and so many more feel the same pressures we do. They're joining our host, Carson Daly, for I'm Listening, September 23rd, starting at 6 p.m. right here. Carson and a cast of mental health experts, athletes, musicians, other notables, and you will share stories, insights, and help us all remember that we are not alone. Please join us, because talking about our mental health has the power to save lives. For more, visit imlistening.org.
You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment, smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
The BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Sports, bets, and entertainment.
790 The Ticket. This is the sort of best of Zaslow show. Zaslow out today, so I am Dan Day taking over and making sure the show keeps flying high. What we're going to be doing is playing back some of the best ofs that we've done over the past couple of months, while at the same time staying true to the form of the show. So we're going to have our segments like we usually do, like right now. Hot takes, no judgment. You got a hot take from this past weekend? I bet you do. I'm not going to judge it. You need to share it, though. Get it off your chest. Get it out your soul. 786-360-0790. You can text it in or call it in. We'll take your phone calls. 786-360-0790. You give me your hot take from this weekend or from just anything in life, and I will not judge you. Now, I might say both sides of it. Like, you say, man, Michael Irvin, he's a bum for saying Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. I'll say this. Tom Brady, the record stands for itself. A lot of people would agree he's the greatest of all time. Other people say, yeah, but Tom Brady's part of the system, and he's kind of gotten lucky here and there. Dan Marino is better. There you go. Hot takes, no judgment. That wasn't my personal hot take. That's just an example. I am going to give you some examples. But first, let's go to the phone lines. Once again, the number is 786-360-0790. 790 The Ticket. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alonzo, right now I'm in Sunrise.
All right, break it down, Alonzo. You got a hot take, no judgment?
Yes, I do. It might be an unpopular one amongst some Floridians, but I'm kind of tired of this turnover chain. You know, that's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like played out now. That's just my opinion.
Hey, that's a hot take. No judgment. No judgment right there. I can see where you're coming from. Like, it was really cool at first. It's kind of run its course. You're tired of seeing it all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe the players care a little bit too much about the turnover chain and not about the game. At the same time, though, it's awesome. It's unique.
Exactly.
It's Miami. So, yeah, I can understand. I appreciate your hot take. No judgment. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
That is a hot take right there. Turnover chain. It's played out. Like I said, I can see that. You can say, man, look, they just been there, done that. And then other people, I mean, it's unique. It's Miami, and now everybody seems to be copying it. Different people wearing like belts and bells and whistles. That's how you do it right there. Hot take, no judgment. Let's take another one. 790 The Ticket. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is David. I'm calling from Miami.
Go ahead, David. Get that hot take. No judgment.
Yeah, so I'm actually a University of Miami alum. And I think over the past few years, even the last couple of decades, you could just assume that the University of Miami as an institution does not care about winning football games. And I think the problem goes all the way down to the Board of Trustees, the president, and beyond.
That's a hot take right there, saying the university overall is not worried about the football team so much. They're not making it the priority that they should. I know I went to LSU. They make football number 1, 2, and 3 priorities. And at times it shows, at times it doesn't. So you're feeling as though the university not really backing the football program.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they prioritize academics as they should. It is, a university where they prioritize research. But, the university is known as a brand for winning football games. They're not known as being this top research institution. Yeah, they have some good programs, but whatever they do academically will always be dwarfed by their accomplishments on the football field. And it feels as if they don't want to be associated with that brand. Blake James is not going to be a guy that's going to go get you a good value head coach. I understand that the program doesn't have a ton of money, but go get yourself a Mario Cristobal. Go get yourself a value guy if you can't go get a Saban guy. but they're just not, they're not interested. And the alumni is very disinterested. It's a Northeast alumni base. They don't care about winning football games. They care about coming here, partying, and honestly, it's just not a good representation of the community of South Florida anymore.
And in this day and age, honestly, you have to admit, the best advertisement for most universities is their football program.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I as a fan, I've been supporting this team a ton. I've gone to a ton of away games. I went to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium to go see them play Alabama. I went to the LSU game. I went to the ACC Championship. And, they look scared. That's worrisome. If they don't have the talent, okay. But why are you scared? You're playing football. You have to coach these guys. If you want to be that guy, you gotta fake it till you make it at least. And they just don't care. I think Manny's in over his head. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't think he's the type of guy that's going to go win you a national championship.
There you go.
And I don't think he's even the guy to build the program. So, I mean, this is going to keep on going. So they decide as an institution that they want to win football games. And I don't think they've made that decision yet.
That's a hot take, no judgment. You were at the game this weekend. What was it like? Were you just totally deflated pretty much during the national anthem? Or what was the feel as a Miami fan?
Yeah, I mean, I have a group of alumni friends and family that drag me to these games, and I went in there with very low expectations, right? We heard that from Rhett Lashley and Manny Diaz that there's a ton of improvements. So I was looking for those improvements. Believe it or not, I don't think the line looked that bad, given we were playing probably the best front seven in the country. Right. But it did feel very deflating, just seeing these guys that are scared to play football. These guys that post all this stuff on Instagram, but they don't show up to play. Where's that old 80s, 90s mentality of I'm going to go be the baddest person out there?
Yeah, and you look at it.
It was very, go ahead.
What I say about the University of Miami, this is it. You have a very fertile recruiting base, probably the most fertile in the country, and you have one of the best physical universities. You put an 18-year-old kid on that campus, they don't want to leave. You should be able to get these young athletes, these studs, to come in and play for you.
Yeah, 100%. And that goes, another thing with coaching. We saw N'Kosi Perry go to FAU. N'Kosi Perry had his problems off the field, no doubt. However, as a coach, you got to address that from man to man. You got to worry about that guy was extremely talented, probably one of the most talented quarterbacks in the state, in my opinion. But they didn't give him that mentorship. These guys don't come from the best backgrounds. You got to coach them up not only as a player, but as a man outside the field. And I don't even think Mark Richt did that. And Mark Richt, and nothing against Mark Richt. I thought he was a great coach, but he even failed to do that. And you got to coach. Maybe you got to get some of these knuckleheads if you're Miami, some 4-star, 3-star guys, and you got to do something that Alabama's not willing to do or LSU's not willing to do. So, I'm very worried about the future. I think Florida State will win a national championship before Miami does. And Florida State, as a program, is not doing well.
I love it so much. Thank you for those hot takes. No judgment. Greatly appreciated. Text line going crazy. Have yourself a great fake Monday that we're all having here, and hopefully Appalachian State will get everything right.
For sure. Go Canes.
My man, right there. That is how you do hot takes, no judgment. He's just whipping out a couple of them. I like it. No judgment right there. Got some texters coming in saying 786 says, Miami's a research university. This guy's a football fan. Got to get your priorities straight. Yeah, you can see both sides of it. Once again, yes, you are a university. That's what you're supposed to do. It's schooling, it's teaching. But at the same time, the best advertisement and the best way to help raise money for a university is your football team. Are they prioritizing football? Maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. No judgment right there. But that is a hot take. If you got a hot take that you want to share, easy. Call me or text me, 786-360-0790. Want to touch on that despite the Canes getting whooped by Alabama. And you call it what you want to call it. They got whooped. LSU got beat by UCLA too. So I'm got my two hot takes right here. I don't care. Even though Miami did not give you much to cheer about this past weekend, I still think they're a 9-win team. I think they go and get things right against Appalachian State. Losing to Alabama, kind of a wake-up call, like we don't want that to happen again. We're not going to get embarrassed. We're going to be up for every game. Miami going to win 9 games this year. Now, some people say, did you say that team this weekend? No. They're not winning 9 games. Other people say, hey, look, it was Alabama, number 1 team in the country, professional team, Nick Saban. Yeah, we got this. So, once again, your hot takes, you can call them in or text them in, 786-360-0790. I am not as in touch with the LSU fan base as I used to be. Of course, worked for basically LSU at the radio station that was flagship station for a long time, ran the radio station, did all the pre- and post-game shows, all that craziness. I did not know how much of a hot seat Coach Orgeron is on. I thought, man, last year, COVID, what does it matter? Hey, you go out to UCLA, you lose a game, he's fine. A lot of people saying if he only wins 7 or 8 games this year, Coach O's fired. I don't think that's the fact. But a lot of people had that hot take after the LSU-UCLA game, and they weren't prisoners of the moment because they were saying it before that. They're like, yeah, Coach O, he's on a short leash. He needs to win like 9-10 games this year. And I was like, he's going to get fired? No. But yeah, apparently the LSU fan base not too happy with Coach O. Of course, they did play poorly against UCLA, but apparently he's had some problems with his coaching, his coaches that he's hired, and all this other stuff. So right there, hot takes from LSU fans, 7-5, gone. Coach O, thanks for the 15-0 season, the Heisman Trophy, everything like that, but nah, don't need you anymore. Ooh, man, tough times. Got another hot take. Alabama, they looked great this past weekend, but they're not going to win the national championship. No, they got too much inexperience. They did play well against Miami, but that's the thing. They've got a long SEC season ahead of them. So Alabama, as good as they look, as much as they're paying their players either legally or illegally, and I stress the last part, they're not going to win the national champion. I don't know who's going to win the national champion. It's a long season, but I just don't think that Alabama, I think LSU will win the national championship. No, I don't. That would be a hot take. LSU national champion, starting 0-1 against UCLA. No. Another hot take I got for you. I told you I was in Los Angeles. I watched the Donut King documentary on the flight to Los Angeles. It's about a Cambodian exile who during their civil war moved to the Los Angeles area, opened up a donut shop, and then all of a sudden started bringing over other exiles from Cambodia and helping them start their own donut business. So much so the Cambodians have a lock on the donut game in Southern California. I went to one of them, DK's Donuts. Wow. Unbelievable donuts. First night there, hadn't eaten all day. All I ate the whole day was donuts. Hot take. Donuts can be eaten as a meal. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? 786-360-0790. You can also call in and get your hot take. No judgment. I can eat donuts as a meal. I think maybe not as a growing up child you should do it. Maybe not the most healthy thing, but you can eat donuts as a meal. Maybe not every meal every day, but one day, two. I did it for 3 days in Miami. Where am I at? Los Angeles. I kept forgetting. No, I'm not even going to joke. I kept forgetting that I was in Los Angeles, and I thought it was in Miami. A couple times I would say like, oh, yeah, well, why don't we just go? No, wait, we can't go there. That's 1,000 million miles away from here. But I really thought a couple times that I was in Miami instead of Los Angeles. But, yeah, the DK Donuts and Christie's Donuts in Southern California, wow, so good you can eat them like a meal. Not every day, maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I would do it. Man, so good. Of course, we got so many great donut places down here in South Florida. The Salty Donut is good. Dandy Donuts. I brought Zaslow some Dandy Donuts the other day because I lost who's going to win. But donuts can be eaten as a meal. The burger donut is nasty, someone says. That's a 305 hot take right there. They don't like those burger donuts. I don't really eat them. I don't need my burger with a donut. I like them separate. I'm a little more separate when it comes to all that. Once again, you can text in your hot take, no judgment, or call in. I'm taking your calls. 786-360-0790. Got another hot take yesterday on the plane. I watched the entire Tampa Bay Rays versus the Boston Red Sox. Boston got up like 7-1 in the second, and the Rays just kept chipping away to the point Tampa Bay came back and won it, and I want to say the 10th or 11th inning. Tampa Bay, I think they have the best record in baseball. I think they're the best team in baseball. I think Tampa Bay, they're too hard to beat. I think the Rays are going to win the World Series this year. I know it hurts. Tampa Bay wins everything. They win the Super Bowl. Their basketball team, the Raptors tried. I mean, they didn't succeed, but they win the Stanley Cup. Now they're going to go out there and win the World Series. So Tampa Bay, when it comes to their sports teams, they got it going on. Yeah, I really do. I watched that team, and I just watched it. I was like, wow, this team is not going to stop. They just keep coming and coming and coming. So Tampa Bay, hot take, going to win the World Series. So I got Miami a 9-win team this year despite getting blown out by Alabama. Despite Alabama looking so good in that first game, they're not going to win the national championship. LSU fans with the take, Coach O goes 7-5. Or he only wins 7 or 8 games. He's fired. Fired after that 15-0 season, Joe Burrow, everything. Nope. Thanks for what you did in the past, but we need you now. I say donuts are a meal. If you go to Southern California, oh, you got it. Their donut game is on point. DK's Donuts right there on Santa Monica Boulevard. Man, you kept me alive for a couple days. Apple fritters, twists, glazed. I got a peanut butter filled donut the other night. Oh man, just everything. But no, apple fritters as big as your head, not the mini ones. If you're getting an apple fritter, get the big boy. Get the one the size of your chest. You eat that, you got yourself a meal. And finally, the Tampa Bay Rays are going to win the World Series. Look at this. If you put a hole in the middle of a pizza, it's a donut. 786, hot take. If you put a hole in the middle of pizza, oh, is it a donut? Okay, I was about to say, man, no judgment here, but that's tough. You put a hole in the middle of a pizza, it still seems like a pizza with a hole in it instead of a pizza, being a donut. Just because it has a hole doesn't make it a donut, you know what I'm saying? A little more time, 786-360-0790. Get your hot take, no judgment in. Zaslow taking a day off. That's not a hot take. That's just the real deal. Taking a little time off. I took yesterday off thinking no one would be at work on Labor Day, but apparently everybody wanted to be here on Labor Day just in case the Canes won. The Canes eliminated that thought immediately, or at least Alabama eliminated that thought immediately. Like I said, I was at a bar on Santa Monica Boulevard trying to get them to change the channel to put on the Canes game. By the time they put on the Canes game, it was basically over. I was like, how much of the game did I miss? Wasn't a lot of time on the clock, but it was a lot on the scoreboard. Whew, man. You just want to go and have a little bit of a feel. At least the LSU game at the Rose Bowl, they got up 7-0. And you kind of had this eternal hope that, oh, yes, here we go. We're up already. Something to cheer for. And then it kind of got a little nasty. But still, LSU stayed in the game. As a Canes fan, I had to leave the bar. I had to get to the Rose Bowl, and I didn't need to look back. I didn't need to check the score. I knew what was going on. But hopefully Appalachian State this weekend, it's going to be a good one. I'm going to give you a hot take right now. Miami's going to win. They're going to beat Appalachian State. I'm not going to say by how much. That's my hot take. Miami defeats Appalachian State. I'm sure there's a hot take out there of someone saying Miami's going to lose to Appalachian State. That's a hot take. No judgment. No judgments here.
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm co-host Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama.
Each week on Hysteria, we are joined by a team of hilariously opinionated ladies to discuss the headlines from the serious to the absurd.
We cover everything from reproductive rights to rom-coms and break down the political news of the week and cultural stories that affect women's lives.
New episodes of Hysteria drop every Thursday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Doc Rivers, and I'm proud to present a new podcast documentary series called It Was Said Sports, where I guide you through 6 of the most impactful and timeless speeches in sports history. Listen and follow It Was Said Sports, a documentary podcast presentation of Shining City Audio, a C13 Originals, and John Meacham Studio. Available now on Odyssey and wherever you listen to your podcasts.
How is your mental health? Billie Eilish, Kevin Love of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Imagine Dragons, Lil Nas X, and so many more feel the same pressures we do. They're joining our host, Carson Daly, for I'm Listening, September 23rd, starting at 6 p.m. right here. Carson and a cast of mental health experts, athletes, musicians, other notables, and you will share stories, insights, and help us all remember that we are not alone. Please join us, because talking about our mental health has the power to save lives. For more, visit imlistening.org.